On July 4th, we all celebrated the courage and the foresight and the integrity of our founding fathers who declared independence and saw this country through the Revolutionary War. But it would be well to consider the highly moral and no less exemplary conduct of the leading opponent of the Declaration of Independence, John Dickinson of Pennsylvania. Dickinson was no less an advocate of freedom, but he was a realist, and he felt that the 13 colonies didn't have a chance measured against the political, military, and economic power of Great Britain. He felt that before we declared independence, we should seek a foreign alliance, presumably with France, and from the beginning be bolstered by that. He felt that it was a rash and impetuous step to declare independence. In 1775, in the Second Continental Congress, he authored the Olive Branch Petition that was sent to George III, basically appealing for negotiations and appealing for a return to royal rule, but with limitations on their prerogatives. It is one of the great follies of history, a phrase invented by Barbara Tuchman, that George III refused to take that olive branch, and instead he doggedly and insanely moved forward toward a war he couldn't possibly win. But Dickinson thought it was a war he couldn't possibly lose, not understanding, I think, the impact on logistics of fighting a war 3,000 miles away where only sail connected you. Anyway, Dickinson was the chief opponent of John Adams, who was the chief advocate for independence in the Continental Congress. So the ratification debate, or really the argument between Adams and Lee on the one hand and Dickinson on the other, was really a dialogue among those people, and Dickinson constantly advancing arguments and Adams constantly rebutting them. After Dickinson lost, he withdrew from the Continental Congress because he felt that it should be adopted unanimously and that every member should sign it, and he couldn't in good conscience do so. But he went on to fight in the American Revolution on our side, sometimes only as a private. He went on to become the president of Delaware and the president of Pennsylvania in their existence as quasi-independent states under the Article of Confederation. Indeed, he helped to write the Articles of Confederation. And after the revolution was over, he was a loyal citizen of the United States and swallowed his objections and was, I think, delighted with the outcome. His land that he dedicated set up a new college in Pennsylvania, now in Dickinson, now in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and it's called Dickinson University. My niece graduated from Dickinson University. Great school. Carlisle is a beautiful town, and Dickinson is an admirable man, even though he disagreed with him.